Alright, hello all. Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video here. So we got a couple new things that sort of came out late last night. I'm a bit late getting around to this. I was asleep, so my bad. But we're gonna jump in. Obviously, we're gonna do the breakdown here, see just how good these units are, and then after we break them down, we're gonna do the calcs. I think I'm gonna change up how I do the calcs instead of sort of doing it live. I'm gonna after we do the breakdown, I'm gonna cut away, and then I'll do all the math, whatever, get it all set up nice and neat, and then I'll show them on screen while I talk about the unit, and that way you guys can get a more comprehensive feel and look for the unit, I guess. I think that makes more sense, at least to me. You guys will see later on. But yeah, so we got a couple things here. We got a new yellowcoin LR. It's a Gohan, Kid, and Piccolo. Um, I have seen a little. I've seen like the animations, right? I haven't listened to like the OST or whatever, but I will say is I find it like weird that it's nice that they did use the sort of nail Piccolo transformation fusion thing, whatever you want to call it. But I really feel like they should have just like why was this Gohan, right? I mean, I haven't looked at the details yet, so I maybe it works really good, but I'm just like thinking here, it's like wouldn't Nail just like work infinitely better? Because I mean, then he'd be on the sort of Namekian category, right? Because he's not on Namekians now because of how exchange units work. And if he was on Namekians, right? Because you can see it here. If he was on Namekians, that helped the new Nail. Of course, Orange Piccolo is still good, but it would have been better. I think. I think it would have had a better feel, especially because like they could have easily done like another Krillin Gohan card, like the Yellow Coin LR. But I guess we'll see what happens, right? Without further ado, though. Oh wait, also we have Super Easy Prime Battle LR Goku. This is the first LR in the game's history. It's a free-to-play LR. This is the first free-to-play Super Easy A as well. So it's the first. There's a lot of firsts here, right? This is the first LR ever. It's the first free-to-play LR, and this is the first free-to-play unit to Super Easy A, and it's the first LR to Super Easy A. So hopefully he's pretty good. I really don't know what to expect here. I'm not really sure how he'll awaken either, because he is free to play. They've added them to the sort of stages so far, so maybe they'll add like a new sort of stage to the Namek Saga or whatever event that he easy A's from. I'm not really sure. I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, Minito, however you pronounce it, has the translations here, so we'll look at that in a bit. But I want to start out over here. Oh, another thing. Yeah, here. This is for the Bardock card that they did. Sort of. This is the animations. I don't see the details, so they just put out the animations. I'm pretty sure. I think the data download should be tonight or tomorrow. We'll see, but he's looking pretty good so far, just animation wise, and he should turn into an LR eventually. So that'll be pretty neat. See how that goes. But yeah, let's jump in. Let's see what we got here. I actually do really like Namek Saiyan Saga stuff. So okay, Super Tech. He's okay. Oh wait, hold on. Wait a minute. You guys see what I see, don't you? We'll have to look at that in just a moment. I see infinite stacking though. That's a good sign already. Planet Namek Saga or Bond of Master and Disciple category key 4, 150, doesn't really matter. They really should bump it to 170 by now. Maybe they will after, 10th anniversary. I am expecting a leader skill power creep. I guess we'll see for sure, but that's just what I'm expecting. Um they really should make it 170 though. Just 150, it really isn't enough. It just, I mean, even getting the extra key, it's not a big enough deal. All right, let's see here. They're getting 200% attack and defense start a turn. I guess Gohan is. Uh, Plus an additional 150% attack when performing a super attack. Key 3 reduces damage received by 30%. Chance of performing a critical hit plus 30%. And launch an additional attack that's a high chance of becoming a super attack for 3 turns from the character's entry turn. Ooh. Gated to 3 turns. So 2 appearances. I mean, that's a really good effect, but I don't like it being only 2 appearances. At least you could say the additional attack. This is a really good thing. Right here, this bit, launch an additional attack. That's a high chance of becoming a super attack. It really is better when they do it like that instead of the most sort of recent example I can think of. It's like Goten and Trunks, where they just have a high chance of launching an additional super. When they write it as the guaranteed additional with a high chance of being a super, it does help like proc hidden potential chances and build up stuff like that more. So I think it is better. Pretty good effect, but would like it to be longer, obviously. Let's see what the rest of this kit's looking like. Key 3, reduce damage received by 30%, chance of performing crit hit plus 30% as the first attacker in a turn. Uh, is that... I forget how, I'm really forgetting how that works right now. I did wake up just not too long ago. Is that first attacker in the turn? He doesn't have to attack first, right? It's just being in slot 1. Uh, you know what? I can, let me check real quick. I have an easy way I can check this. Let me go on my phone here and look at the wording of I don't know why. This is the first unit that's coming to my mind here is Trunks and Vegeta, the Int LR, Dokkan Fest LR. That's just the first card that's coming to my mind. That'd be a good way to tell how this works. Because they do have a buff specifically for being in slot 1. Let me see. Oh yeah, it's first attacker in the turn is just being in slot 1. So he doesn't have to attack first. So I mean, 30% damage reduction is definitely in the crit as well, obviously, but 30% damage reduction is pretty good. He could probably sit slot 1 pretty easily for the first couple turns, but I don't know after that wears off. Let's see. Key 3, reduced damage received by 20%, chance of forming a crit hit plus 20% when there's another Planet Namek Saga or Namekian category ally attacking the same turn. Recovers 20% HP at the end of turn. Oh, okay. He looks pretty good. What the hell? So his first 2 appearances, he's gonna have 80% damage reduction, 80% crit chance. He's getting 1 additional super. He's got a lot of key in here. He does only have the sort of first line of stats here. I mean, he does have the 150 here, but it's just performing a super attack. It's not defense. 80% damage reduction. The first couple turns, he's going to be a really good slot 1, which I think actually works pretty well with. I mean, not that these guys are going to have a lot of links together, but like the new Vegeta card. I will note that if you actually have him and using him such, you would see that certainly his first couple turns can be kind of weaker. But after that, like once he gets those first couple turns in, he's actually pretty good defensively. So they could easily, have this guy meant to like cover Vegeta the first couple turns, and then later on, put Vegeta in slot 1. But like I would also say on that note, if that's the idea, I'd rather this just be like a Frieza card instead, if he's really meant to work extremely well with Vegeta. Which I mean, ideally speaking, I would have preferred this like a first form Frieza, the second form Frieza, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? Let's see what we got here. What is the super attack effect? Wait, what's the 70% or less from the 4th turn from the start of battle? Start of battle? Oh, that's really good. That's not a start of turn, that's start of battle. Oh, okay. And you can do it at 6th turn as well. That's pretty decent, I think. I don't know what all these links are looking like, but All in the Family's a pretty good defensive link. It's like 20% defense, I think. Pretty nice. Oh, massively raise attack and defense. So he's stacking on the 12 key, but it's a 1-turn massive. Interesting. I think this guy could look pretty good. Let's see what Piccolo's looking like, but overall, I think he could look pretty good. I'll need to do the calcs and stuff, of course, later on, but So far, I mean, I think this is a pretty decent baseline for our yellow coin LR. Let's see what we got here. We got Piccolo pulled up. Jump right in. All right, see what we got here. Key +8, attack and defense plus 250%. That's what? Ah, okay. So he's getting just 8 keys, start a turn more, and 50% attack and defense just right off rip. That's an additional 30% attack. Oh no. Same amount of attack. Never mind. Reduce the damage received by 50% just for free. That's pretty good, obviously. High chance of forming a critical hit. Launch an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack. Plus an additional key 4. And launch an additional super attack starting from the turn in which the character receives an attack. So what? Plus an additional key 4 and launch an additional super attack starting from the turn. So is that wait? The wording's really confusing me here. So is that just like a permanent buff, or is it like resetting like every turn? Like once he gets hit, he gets an additional super attack. So I mean that'd be pretty good for slot 1. He's already at 2 additionals here. One's guaranteed super, one's great chance. That's pretty good so far. When HCP is 70% or more, start a turn plus an additional damage reduction of 20% in super class allies, defense plus 70%. That's pretty good. I mean, he's 70% damage reduction and giving 70% defense. I would say though is right. I mean, this is Planet Namek. This should be super class allies or Planet Namek Saga category allies. Defense 70% is what this should be. Because there's a lot of extreme class options, obviously, on the team that are not going to receive this buff, which is really unfortunate unless they're going to build up specifically an extreme and super class Planet Namek Saga. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. HP is 70% or less. Start a turn. Evade enemy attack, including super attack, within a turn once only, and from the character's next attacking turn onward. High chance of evading enemy's attack, including super attacks. Recover 25% HP at the end of turn. These guys have a lot of HP regen. 20% and 25% end of turn is very nice. We'll have to look and see the calcs, right? But I mean, so far, you're really going to want him to be over the 70% threshold, right? But if you are over that 70% damage reduction, 70% defense, and Gohan's up to 80% before you like exchange with him. I mean, after his second turn, it does wear off, but I mean, this is looking pretty good. I think not a lot of actual stats. I mean, we just have the baseline to 50% defense, and then this here. Gohan doesn't even have this; he just has the baseline 200%. So, and that could cause some issues. But they have I do see the permanent stacking here. He has the permanent stacking on the 12 key on Gohan as well. Let's see. Okay, so the super attack effect is just yeah, massively rate. So it's the same exact super attack effect. I mean, if you like, you don't even need to aim for the massive, right? I don't see anything in here that when key is or when performing an ultra super attack. I just super attack. Yeah. Okay. I mean, you can easily just like the first couple turns of this guy, or like if you're trying to really do like a like for if I was using them or something, right? If we're doing like a how hard can the unit hit video, just getting the sort of 12 key, aiming for that specifically, is pretty nice. He does have the 8 key start of turn, but he doesn't have key anywhere else. So, oh wait, actually, no, you can't even because you'd be at 14 key start of turn. Yeah. So, oh no. So you'd be guaranteed to get the 12 key off, but I mean, also when you count on, you're only 4 key off the 18 key attack. So, I mean, it could be kind of close, but I think you could just like aim for the 12 key. I mean, he already has 2 additionals built in. You could easily, if you go like a bunch of additional hit potential or something, getting like 4 stacks a turn, what could be pretty good. Well, we'll have to see what the calcs are looking like, but I actually think this is a pretty good unit. This could be pretty annoying. HP condition. I've been really annoyed with Vegeta's HP condition. But well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, let's jump into the prime battle. Super easy A Goku here. Let me just pull up on my phone here. I do want to check what his SA effect is. I don't actually have it memorized, obviously, and they do only change the sort of passive, right, with these sort of super easy A's. So I do want to make sure I have this like in mind here. All right, let me pull them up. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, so okay. I mean, that's pretty decent, I think. He's getting 50% attack and defense for one turn on 12 key, but he's getting mega colossal damage to enemy crit hit 10% chance allies attack plus 30% for one turn. So he's given 10% attack crit and 30% sort of attack to allies for the turn on the ultra super, but the 12 keys at 50% out of both attack and defense for him. So that's pretty decent, I think, overall. 159% attack and defense, start a turn. Key 3, 159% defense and great chance to guard all attacks when this character is placed first or second in the rotation, so if another start a turn. Great chance to guard, sucks ass, that should be just guaranteed. Key 3, 159% attack, great chance of launching to launch an additional super attack when this character is placed second or third in rotation. So this guy has like a Diama sort of thing. Yeah, he's so you really want him in the second slot specifically. Hmm. I don't. We'll see. Attack and defense plus 159% when performing a super attack. All allies key 3. Superclass allies attack and defense plus 30%. Attacks effective against all types when attacking superclass enemies. Perform critical hits when attacking extreme class enemies. I think he could be decent. I mean, he's got a decent amount of stats here, right? I'll need to do the calcs, but he does have a decent amount of stacks. So I mean, I think we'll have to see, but certainly you'd want to really run him in the second slot specifically. That could obviously cause some issues, but I feel like he looks pretty good. I will say though is that this great chance to guard all attacks. I don't know. That's really annoying. We'll have to see just how high his defense can get, but if it doesn't get too high, this guy might just be like. I mean, it should be pretty decently high. He's got a lot of numbers in here. But if just hypothetically, if it's not high, you know, this guy's really gonna be hurt. He really is, because I mean, great chance. That's really annoying. It really is. That should not be a great chance. We're nearly in 2025 now. No, we're not doing high chance, great chance to fucking guard anymore, and that needs to be guaranteed. That's really stupid design. All right, I'm gonna cut away here now. I mean, they do both look pretty good. I'm actually really liking this Gohan Piccolo card. We'll see what the calcs are looking like overall, but I feel like this is. I mean, this is the first. It's a free to play unit as well. We do have to keep that in mind. This is a free to play unit. Um, so he should be decent. I think both cards should be decent, but we'll have to see the exact defense number, because great chance to guard. That's really annoying. Like that's gonna hurt. Like you're gonna like you're using this guy, right? And you fail, you put him in slot 2, and you fail the great chance to guard, right? You're gonna be so pissed off. You're gonna be so pissed off. It's stupid. It's a 70% chance, right? It shouldn't. That's stupid. Really stupid. And the thing about guard is like it only has one 70% chance. Like with dodge units, you could say, oh, great chance to. What's the difference? It's a great chance to dodge versus great chance to guard. The great chance to dodge, how that works is it is procced on every single attack, right? So every single time, there's an attack, the unit has the sort of uh 70% chance to dodge. With guard, it just activates start of turn. So you either get it or you don't for the entire rotation. Which is really stupid. Really stupid. But yeah, we'll cut away here. Let's do the calcs. I'll get it all nice and neat formatted. I have posted a couple of these on Twitter. Oh yeah, I still have this from Nail. Yeah, this is what my sort of format looks like. So I mean, this will give you a basic idea of how it's gonna look. But yeah, we will be back. I'm gonna do the calcs here real quick, and we'll see just how good both these are gonna be looking. All right, everyone, we are back here. It took quite a bit for me to do the calcs. There was a lot of different phases and such to these units. I mean, I guess that is how it is with calcs these days, huh? There's a lot of different separate conditions, so it do be like that. I got into it when pretty crazy, huh? Anyway, I got all the calcs done. Um, we'll start off with Gohan here. I got a whole doc set up. Scroll down just so you guys can see. Oh, but yeah, we're gonna go up here. We're just gonna start off with Gohan. So for Gohan, we only have this like one page here. Um, when I'm thinking about Gohan, right? I mean, he does have the 80% damage reduction. Um, I mean, it is specifically you do need a Planet Namek or Namekian category ally. So I mean, that is a big deal, obviously. But for Gohan, I mean, for the first 3 turns, 80% damage reduction. He should be fine, right? As a slot one, I think. Certainly maybe like the first turn you could have some issues, but like definitely his second turn, I think he should be fine. Now, I should note here, for the calcs, I do specify 18 key. But you may think that sort of buff is only for his first 2 appearances. So why do I have 3 stack effects if I'm showing the 18 key? Um, Me personally, like if I'm using this unit, I don't think I'm gonna summon for him. But if I have this unit, I am a stacking guy, right? And especially like with a unit like this, every stack matters. I think I would personally, and obviously that does affect what these other numbers would look like, is so duly noted. But me, I would 100% be aiming for the 12 key. And I guess maybe I should have done like a separate, this is the 12 key path, this is the 18 key path, but I just figured just showing that sort of 3 SA effects would be fine. And also, to be fair, on that note is, uh, you have him like the first turn or whatever, right? And maybe you're not able to transform him immediately because the other condition is the sort of 6th turn, right? Can I pull that up? Yeah, the other one is the 6th turn. So this one you might be able to do. This one you is more likely, obviously. And start a battle once again, really good stuff. But so I mean, technically this could be a little bit off if you're considering trying to go for the 4 turn. But if you're considering trying to go like after his first 2 appearances, this is what he would look like at the start of the turn, essentially. Obviously, you would be going into Piccolo, but I think he looks pretty decent. But obviously, go into Piccolo as soon as you can. You literally lose nothing for going into Piccolo. Piccolo is just better. He's still stacking and such. So down to Piccolo here. Piccolo has a lot of different. He definitely took the most time to do. So for Piccolo here, I started off with calcing 6 stack effects, obviously, because uh, Gohan is already stacked up a little bit, so it only really makes sense to start from calculating 6 instead of calculating 0. I figured you'd have a couple turns on Gohan, so I mean you look at these numbers, and once again, this is a unit that is 70% damage reduction. Of course, you do have to be over this HP threshold, which HP thresholds can be very annoying, and if you fall under, you do have that evade uh, for once of the one turn you're just evading everything. But the next turn onward, you do have the high chance. So obviously you do really want to be above 70% HP, but if you fall under for like the one turn or whatever, he gets the dodge, and then he goes into the sort of high chance to dodge. And you're looking at these numbers here, and I feel like Piccolo should be I mean either way, like if you well, I guess like the first time you fall under 70% HP, he's still fine, but if you fall under 70% HP again, you could probably have some issues. So I mean, you definitely want to maintain being above this sort of 70% the whole way through. Obviously, it does buff the numbers quite a bit. I mean, I say quite a bit. It's only like 250k between these, third additionals difference, but 250k is still substantial. This unit does kind of stack slowly. I'd probably like if I had them rainbow, I'd probably just go for like some defense equips because that would make them stack so much faster. I mean, you could easily get like 1200 defense or 1300 defense on them or something like that, and that actually make quite a substantial difference, I think. But I mean, even so, Piccolo, I think Gohan and Piccolo are both fine. Gohan's like first turn could have some issues potentially, uh, obviously, but he should be fine, I think. As for Piccolo, after you fall under 70% for the second time, that could also have issues. But once again, I think Piccolo should be fine as well. They're both a pretty good release. I'd want to see how they like work in game and such. They definitely seem really good, really solid. Obviously, I didn't calc like attack stats or anything here, so I'm not sure what they're going to be looking like in regards to that. But they just seem like a pretty good, solid release. I would say, I mean, they're as when you're looking at like yellowcoin LRs, I mean, Cell Max is probably like still better than these guys, obviously. But I really don't know where else I'd go from there. Like in the ballpark of like he's not on Cellmax's level, but like the next yellow coin LRs under Cellmax are all easy A's, right? It's you know com- it's depending on your taste, really. Like Tech Broly or Strength Turles or the Universe 7 LRs. The full Rep 7 card or the 17 and Golden Frieza card. I think they're probably like vaguely on that level. Where exactly they fit in, whether that's like second or like third, fourth, fifth. eh, I don't know exactly, but I think they're on that level. So definitely a very good release. I'm not sure. Like the thing is like if they are gonna build up the Planet Namek Saga category team, we're they're this is really annoying. 70% defense for superclass allies. This really should have been or Planet Namek Saga category allies as well. Because if they are starting to make a big focus for Planet Namek, I mean you got to think New Year's is when last time is when the sort of worldwide LR batch sort of easy aid. So and this year it was ninth anniversary. So I'm not really. I guess for global it was technically Golden Week, but I'm not really sure exactly where. Uh, like full power Frieza and Super Saiyan 1 Goku are gonna fit in. But if I were a betting man, it's somewhere in between the New Year's anniversary, New Year's celebration and the 10th anniversary. I'm also someone who does think Namek is going to play a decent part into 10th anniversary. So if they build up a really good super class team and a really good extreme class team, sure, right? I'm fine with that. I would say though is they're really starting to bite themselves in the ass with these sort of support conditions and such. Like super class allies here or like Ginyu who's only special pose. Like if they really keep releasing specific restrictions for these Planet Namek units, and they try to come around and make a big Planet Namek category team, but they just sort of mishmash them all instead of making like a super and extreme class variant, it's really going to hurt a ton. And their past mistakes are really going to bite them in the ass. Although to be fair, I am also someone who is of the opinion that 10th anniversary is going to have major power creep. Uh, I wouldn't say on the level of 7th anniversary, but I would say a similar level. I'm really expecting it. This this last part of the year, the power creep has just gone for our units and the bosses. It's just like exponentially increased so fast, and all the units. I mean, even if there's issues within the units, they're all extremely good that have been releasing. And I mean, you like look at the worldwide batch, and you got to think about this. Like pretty much every single year, and you can go back, you can look at this. This is a fact. I'm not just pulling this out my ass or something. Every single year, the worldwide LRs always, always, always get hit by the next anniversary power creep. It happens every time, every time. They always get hit by it. It always affects. Now it depends on how hard the power creep is, how hard the worldwide LRs are going to sort of be. But this is at the end of the day, as much as it sucks, this is a gotcha game. They are going to always be continuously trying to push power creep. That way, players are always going to be spending money because if you have a team from 2 years ago that can still clear all the hardest content, obviously you're not incentivized to summon on the newest stuff, so they make less money, right? So it only makes sense that they always are going to push power creep forward. That could get unhealthy at some point, but I mean they are following the same sort of routine they usually do of earlier on in the year they go a little bit weaker with the releases. Like they're strong, but they're not like oh my god. And you get like into the later part of the year, the units are oh my god. But yeah, that's because they make them so powerful in the later part of the year because they have less time to shine. Like the units in the earlier part of the year are still good up until the end of the year, pretty much always consistently. I mean, 2023 they did do some very poor decision making with designs, but I feel like that is pretty true as a state of fact that they always the earlier units are always good for the entire year, but the later units do end up dominating the meta. But once anniversary comes around, obviously they try to push the meta forward and stuff to incentivize people to summon for the newest, biggest, awesome unit. Super Vegeta, Super Gogeta, Super Saiyan 1 Goku. Whatever it's gonna be, right? They always want you to summon for the newest, flashiest, strongest card. That way you can have a chance to beat the newest, hardest, difficult event. So I am really expecting power creep. So you could say that maybe this unit and a lot of other units. Like another thing that scares me a little bit is if you look at the amount of like this unit has 80% damage reduction, like Super Easy A Frieza has 80% damage reduction. Like there's a lot of units releasing recently with guard 50% damage reduction, 80% damage reduction, 70% damage reduction. You're looking at all these amounts, and I feel like there's no way the power creep isn't going to be high, especially with like the leader skill meta shift coming. We'll see. I feel like that they're going to be good for the rest of this year, but I don't know what the power creep's going to look like. I'm personally summoning for Vegeta, still, just because I'm a Vegeta fan. I am waiting to get enough for another rotation, though, to be fair, for my sort of summon video. But um, I am fully aware that he may age out in the next like 4 or 5 months. But Vegeta fan, so I'm summoning anyway. But after Vegeta, I'm not summoning on anything. I am truly expecting pretty big power creep, and you might just be wasting your stones, to be honest, if you summon for some of these units. We'll see what happens, though. Maybe I'm wrong. It'd obviously be good if I'm wrong. But I mean, we looked at Piccolo here. Oh, wrong tab. He looks pretty good, I think. How good he'll age, I'm not sure. But go on, Piccolo, really good. Now, oh wait, I forgot to show this. I mean, this is once again they are pretty good. I mean, you're getting these mid 1 million defensive numbers with the 80% damage reduction, 70% damage reduction. Like they're a really solid card. They genuinely are. So I expect they'll be really good. I think Cellmax probably better, but still overall pretty good release. Now we get down here to Super Easy A, Super Saiyan 1 Goku. This was a unit I was saying earlier that I really did need to see the calcs because I just couldn't like put it to my mind like how it was gonna look obviously. So we're looking at him here, and I mean you can see straight away he does have his own support by the way. So technically this is 30% support, but it doesn't. I'm not gonna it doesn't feel necessary to show that because it does just already calc in to his start of turn and stuff. But when you're using this card, I mean it does have a great chance to guard, which is obviously pretty decent. But I would say, I mean, you're not if you're gonna run him in slot 3, don't even run him. This is just I wouldn't. Like, I mean, towards the end, he could be good against normals, but he's definitely dying to supers. Slot 2, though, I mean, this is once again with a great chance to guard. So if it'll be really annoying when that doesn't proc, but when it does proc, he is going to be extremely good defensively. He could still be decent in slot 1, but you're really it's like it's a gamble, right? You're when you're putting him in slot 1, it's like a situation where your other units aren't going to survive. Especially if there's like a lot of attacks before he's attacking. 296k even with guard it isn't really a lot. So I mean you really are specifically running him in slot 2. He does look pretty good in slot 2. I mean you can see down here as well. He's getting over 2 million defense by the end of I mean this is with, obviously you're going to have him rainbow. He's a free to play LR. If you don't have him rainbow, there's bigger issues at hand. But you could obviously make him look better substantially with all the sort of different phase buffs he has. He can definitely look substantially better, even with just a little bit of defense equips. Obviously, there's no defensive equips calced here, but these numbers would really would skyrocket with equips. So do keep that in mind. But I mean, you get to over 2 million by the end here, and I mean, some of the obviously with the super attacks, like they've gone to spike so much. I mean, like Gogeta starting off the gate with like potential double 4 mil supers and stuff. Oh, it's obviously deadly, but I mean, if you do get the guard up, and you have like the support here, after the third super, he would actually like live Gogeta, which is, I mean, I still think Gogeta's the hardest fight on global, but I do need to test both fights some more. But I mean, I do think this is a free to play card, guys. Like you got to think, and also the attack isn't calced here. He's going to be hitting pretty hard. Now I do have this written in here. I am calculating this at 12 key. He does get up to like 15 key start a turn. That's without considering links. So you could definitely. I'm not sure actually if he does get any from links. I do know he doesn't get defense from links though, but. So certainly you could end up getting the 18 key, which would obviously make these numbers look lower, but you really have to, I would say, only aim for the 12 key, uh, which, could be potentially hard at times, but I think that's definitely the best way to use this unit, and he can look pretty good, pretty good. And it's a free-to-play LR, once again. So, I mean, I'm pretty pleased with this Super Easy A. I think it's pretty good. He'll be competitive against hard content in slot 2. Uh, Slot 3, don't even. I wouldn't even run him really, but slot 1 you could get away with it, but you really have to run him like in slot 2. Still, pretty good batch here overall. Um, I'm honestly kind of surprised we didn't see like a different Easy A. I really was not expecting super Easy A Goku here. I was really expecting Easy A sort of Vegeta that revives into Goku. Now we may still see that. The data download should be tonight or tomorrow. I think tonight because Diama does come out tomorrow at the time actually even yeah. Diama comes out tomorrow. I'm not sure the exact time it airs, but it comes out on the 11th. Today's the 10th, so we should be getting the data download tonight, I believe. So I mean, we'll see if there's anything else hidden in there. I will probably I don't know if I'd even actually. I was gonna say I might do the sort of breakdown or whatever for the Dyma units, but they're only SSRs right now, so I don't know about that. They're, they're probably not gonna really be anything right now. They're definitely gonna get stronger as it goes on, but if there's something for like, if there is Easy A Vegeta in there, we'll do something for then. But I mean, yeah, I'd say that's pretty much all for now. We covered about everything. We'll scroll through these again just real quick if you guys want to pause at any moment just to look at specific turns or situations or whatever. But I think this is a pretty good batch overall. I'm pretty pleased. Once again, I feel like I mean that is just how it is with the end of the
year stuff always. They can, you got to keep in mind, they can age out pretty quickly. But at least for the content for now, all of these units should be very solid. So, I mean, that's all you can really ask for, I think. But yeah, we're gonna end things here. Let me know what you guys are thinking about Gohan and Piccolo, as well as Super ECA LR Goku down below. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Take care.